Queen Lola was married to the richest king. The king was proud and he loves to show off. Queen Lola was the opposite of the king. She had a very beautiful body and the king was very obsessed with her body. Every night, he would summon her to his room, ask her to strip and dance for him until he sleeps off. She didn't see that as an issue because she felt she was pleasing her husband. Whenever he has a guest, he would ask her to dress half naked and welcome them. And she would do just that. One day, the king decided to host an extravagant banquet to show off his wealth and power. The banquet lasted for 6 months. He invited military leaders, noble officials, and kings from neighboring villages. They ate, drank, and partied. When the 6 months elapsed, he held a grand finale event lasting 7 days. On the final day of the banquet, he invited only kings. And when he was high in spirits from drinking wine, he commanded his servants to summon the queen. He wanted her to appear before the royal guest to display her beauty. However, Queen Lola refused. Her refusal angered the king, and he sought advice from his advisors on how to handle her disobedience. Consequently, an irrevocable decree was written, disposing Lola as queen and banning her from the king's presence. Queen Lola was dethroned and chased out of her luxury chambers. She was sent to the old lonely cottage outside the main palace, and the search for a new queen began. To find a new queen, the king hosted a royal beauty pageant, and a maiden was chosen. Her name was Bumi. Bumi was chosen to ascend the throne. She always had a cheerful face, and she spent most of her time picking fruits at the palace garden with the maidens. Bumi was ready to do anything that would please the king and make him happy. But the king was not satisfied with Bumi. She wasn't as active as Lola in the other room. So the king started yearning for Lola. Every night, he would sneak to Lola's old lonely cottage and lay with her. This continued for a while, and then Lola took advantage of the king's obsession. She started demanding for gold before pleasing the king. Lola made so much money from her new business, and her wealth increased. One day, the king thought about the whole thing, and he decided to bring Lola back to the main palace. So he went to the old cottage and informed Lola about his plans to cancel her punishment and bring her back to the main palace. But Lola declined, and the king walked out of the old cottage angrily. Lola, being a smart woman and knowing the kind of person the king was, she thought about the whole thing and she immediately packed her things and she started running. She got to the main gate and the guards stopped her, but she pleaded and bribed them with some gold. The guards later allowed her to run. The next day, the king summoned some guards and ordered them to drag Lola back to the main palace. The guards got to the old cottage but couldn't find Lola, so they informed the king. The king immediately summoned the 2 guards at the gate and questioned them. At first, they denied, but after several whips, they confessed. The angry king immediately sent so many soldiers to go after Lola and bring her back. They searched and searched, but up till this day, no one knows where the dethroned Queen Lola went to. The king continued hosting pageantries, trying to find someone who would please him in the other room, like Lola.